red flag, but it's a halt for sure if a man is childless or has never been married.
Why?
Because I feel like, have you really fully ever really committed to anything in your life?
So, okay, right? So, commitment. Are you saying that a committing to a relationship
Like, I just feel like
a higher regard than committing to maybe like his job?
Yeah.
You know what
no,
I'm saying?
no,
I've
I'm
been in a job
saying it
15
like,
years.
yeah, but you committed to a job. What I'm saying is, it's hard being in relationships, and for a fact, I know a man that has a child or has been in a marriage, especially a long-term marriage, even if it wasn't successful, understands what it is to be in something even when you don't want to be there. And I feel like when you don't have a tie to something, you can make those decisions. Like, I don't want to do this shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you introduce kids, when you understand the depths of having a child or being married, you view things differently. In my opinion, I want a man with kids. I want to see how I have kids. I want to see who you are as a father. I don't have the time to be gambling to figure out who you are as a dad. That's something that I need to know how you. This is the thing about the devil you know thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I have kids.
Yeah.
So there's a part of needing to know certain things before I enter into them because of the sake of it's not just me.
Hey, yo, what's happening, black men? So I've been sitting on this video for maybe a few months now, and I thought to myself, man, let me just go ahead and knock this one out. And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself, what? You know, I might call this one Men Over the Age of 30 Cannot Commit. Something along those lines, right? But you hear what this black woman is saying. See, this is why I always wondered to myself, do black women actually think before they speak, right? Weren't we all taught that? Think before you speak. Now, she's talking about men over the age of 30 who do not have kids are a red flag because why? You don't understand commitment. Well, listen, Keisha. First of all, if you come over here, I make content for 10% black men, but you know what? I'll even throw 65% simp in there because guess what? These same simps are the guys who are willing to commit, right? It's so funny how black women, you overlook those simps to go after 25% Glocktavius, 25% Thug, 25% 762 Keem, 223 Trey, and 562 Quan. I'm sorry, I said 562, 556 Quan. You go after these morons, right? But yet those same men don't commit. Those same men hardly take care of their kids. Listen, I've met these Keishas, especially in my generation, right? Gen Z, who will get pregnant by these same dudes. And guess what? 6 months into her pregnancy, oh, me and him are co parenting. How can you co parent before the child is even born? And if not that, okay, she's doing the single mom thing. Yo, black men, come on, really? And she said men over 30 with no kids and not being married. So, okay, let's talk about it, right? Before I even dive even deeper into what she's talking about, let's tackle that. Everything I've been saying, if you guys just go back and watch the last 100 videos on my channel. You know what? Forget 100. Just watch the last 25, maybe even 50, and you will understand everything about my content. It's full circle. For the last 2 years, I've been talking about the same thing, and the message does not switch, black men. I've been talking about the same thing. So, boom, men over the age of 30. Well, guess what? What man is going to have a child? No, hold on. What logical man? What practical man? What critically thinking man is going to have a child before the timing is right? See, the least you can do as a human being, male or female, is bring a child into this world where they don't have to start life off in poverty. That's the least that you can do. Because guess what? Children do not ask to be here. For you as a black woman to pick a man, right? A black man or black male, right? Who lifestyle choices will end him up in the graveyard or in a cell block to have kids with that man, or again, you're looking for these men who are hyper focused on short term possibilities, right? A short term chance, a small percentage of becoming anything successful. NBA, rap music, NFL, drug dealing, right? How many guys can even make it to a level where you can support a family doing any of those things? Again, I'm pretty sure we all grew up knowing guys who said, listen, I'm going to go sell drugs. And guess what? His first day on the corner, he got booked. His first week on the block, he got booked. His first month in the game, he got booked. He was still bagging up. He still had on training wheels. Yo, he was still getting fronted. he was even making $2,000 a month. He was out there selling $25 3.5s, yo. He was out there not gonna get too far anyways, right? You got guys who spend their entire life from the age of 6 playing one sport, putting his all into this one sport. Guess what? You got about 1 million other black boys from these ghettos doing the same exact thing. So guess what? We already know in basketball, yo, it's only gotten harder to become an NBA player. The days of Chris Paul over with. The days of Kyrie Irving over with. The days of Nate Robinson, that's over with. Brandon Knight, that's over with. Right? What's the dude? Isaiah Webb? That's over with. AI, that's over with. The average point guard has to be at least 6'3". The days of Chris Paul, that's over with if I haven't said his name already. Listen, all those short NBA players, again, even though those, hold on. How can I forget about Isaiah Thomas, Boston Celtics? Carried the team on his back. Right? The days of Rajon Rondo, that's over with. Yo, the minimum point guard needs to be at least 6'3", 6'4". At least 6'3", 6'4". So again, if you don't even grow to be 6 feet tall, basketball is out the question for you. When it comes to football, yo, listen, if you're not, again, I mean, you don't have to be over 6 feet, but come on, bro. If you're not one of those built dudes, you know what I mean? And again, depending on what position you're playing, again, you're 6'3", 215 wide receiver. Yo, come on, son. How many black dudes out here trying to be a wide receiver? How many black dudes out here getting clamped up by a corner? You want to go be a linebacker? How many dudes 6'3", 250? You want to go be a linebacker? How many black dudes out here 6'7", 280? You want to go play on the offensive or defensive line? Come on, yo. How many black men out here 6'5", 235? You want to go be a nose guard, tight end? Come on, bro. It's too fucking. Man, I'm cursing too much. Yo, the possibility is low. The percentage is low, right? The likelihood is just not going to happen. When you compare that to somebody who's going to a university, right? Because she talked about commitment. Let's talk about that. To sit your ass down in a classroom, right? Because most of these dudes can't sit down in the classroom, right? And I'm not saying that you're better than somebody because you can, but it takes a commitment. One thing about university that everybody understands, and especially if you go, but even on the outside looking in, right? Somebody who can go to college and finish college, right? A lot of you black women, that takes commitment. To stay down on a job, salute to all you black brothers. Listen, whether you 10% or a simp, yo, I salute you because let's keep it a buck. Gloctavius, he got it easy. All he can do is just wake up, his phone ring. Yo, I need this. Yo, I need that. Pull up on me. Yo, where you at? Let me come to you. And he makes the transaction, right? Guys who are waking up, yo, you got a credit card. He making 1 phone call, 3 phone calls, 6 phone calls. Middleman to middleman. Yo, then you go find a random person who is desperate enough to let you use their credit card information. Now you running up their credit card. They go into the negative 10, 20, 40, 50,000s. You know what I mean? You punching a few numbers and money magically appears out of thin air into somebody's bank account. You talking about, yo, I need that cut. Yo, come on, yo. That's an easy life. Even when it comes to sports, yo, that's an easy life. You might talk about, oh man, that's competition. Yo, my nigga, your job is to put the ball in the hoop. Put the ball in the hoop. Catch a football. Run a football. Right? How many of those same athletes can you put a basic math test in front of them? I didn't say algebra. I didn't say calculus. I didn't say trigonometry. I didn't say integrals. I didn't say differential equations. I'm talking about basic math, multiplication. Put PEMDAS, right? Parentheses, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Put that in front of the average nigga. Put that shit in front of the average athlete. Let me see them do basic math, right? Show me that. How many athletes can actually do fractions? Add and subtract fractions, cancel out fractions. Basic math. So again, for all you black women who might come across this video talking about, yo, a man over 30 years old who's never had kids. Yo, hold on. Let me get back to the point. Again, commitment. Sitting down in that classroom. If you sat down in that university classroom from start to finish, that shows commitment. You stay down on your job. You stay down on your job for 4, 5, 8, 10 years. You work your way up. That's commitment. She talking about, yo, having kids and not, she's talking about not having kids over the age of 30. So first of all, we already know black women, you're only having kids by a certain group of men, a small percentage of men under the age of 30. So those guys who you're talking about, you talking about, oh, how he can't commit, right? You're afraid that because he had so much freedom in his life that he can pick and choose to do what he wants to do, right? You can't trust him. But you never put enough trust in him to have those children. And again, any man with common sense, listen, my life isn't where I want it to be. See, thing with black women is they don't give a fuck what position the man is in. Again, I've told you guys multiple times in multiple stories or multiple recordings. I watched the Instagram live of a Jamaican woman, right, who was married to a Jamaican American man. And she told the Instagram live how, she told the Instagram live how that Jamaican man she was married to, she stepped out on the marriage and got pregnant by a bum in Jamaica. A guy sleeping on the dirt road. Are you serious? When you had this Jamaican American man providing a quality life for you in Jamaica. And you go and get pregnant by a bum on the road. But guess what she said? It was spark. It was chemistry. Shut the fuck up. Even here in America, you got black women over here. Again, it doesn't matter what Glocktavia's financial position is. Doesn't matter if he's on his way to prison. Don't matter if he's on his way to a graveyard. Doesn't matter if he's down low. These dudes can be down low, and you black women will still let him smash you, get pregnant. Why? Because you feel like, listen, I want to be a mom, so nothing can hold me back from being a mom, even though the man's financial position doesn't matter to you, even though the man's lifestyle doesn't matter to you. But guess what? You're thinking, well, I still have the kid, so I can still receive help, right? Whether it's help from the government or you go and find a man who can step up and be a stepdad. So that same man who you probably want to step up and be a stepdad, you don't trust him because what you're going to do is wait until you're what? 29, 32, 35, even though you had your kid at 21. Even though you had your kid at 21, you wait until 30 years old, 32 years old, 35 years old. Oh, maybe now I should get married. Maybe now I should look for a man to help take care of me and my kid because why? There is no safety net for us. You're going to be busting your ass working 30. Sorry, I said 30. You'll be busting your ass working 50, 60, 70 hours a week to take care of you and that kid because why? You chose to not prioritize having a man and having kids with a man, again, who's not responsible. Look at all those children being produced by Jay Fizzle. What? You black women gotta be the stupidest bitches I've ever ran across in my damn life. Because how could, listen, he's not Drake. Drake doesn't even have 31 children, 34 children, But yet you let Jay Fizzle have that many kids. At least Drake is popular. At least Drake is actually famous. At least Drake is actually an artist who he really has money. Jay Fizzle said, "I'm in the streets." He's not making no money off of PRE. If anything, okay, he might have some of Young Dolph residual income coming in, maybe some royalty money. Again, maybe living off the clout of PRE, but he said he's in the streets full time, which means, listen, that fast money he's making can go any minute. Before you know it, he'll be using that money on a lawyer, right? But again, Jay Fizzle, multiple children, multiple. Listen, he has more baby mothers than what some of you black men, right, including myself, has probably ever smashed in your life. Dude got 28 baby moms. How many of you black dudes can say you got 28 bodies? How many of you black dudes can say I got 28 bodies? He has 34 children. Dead ass? So you're confident enough to let that man have kids. You're confident enough to let these pookies have kids because I've talked about it. Let's talk about the numbers, right? 77. Hold on. By the time a black woman is 25 years old, 77% of black women who will ever become a mother, right, by age 25 already have kids. If not one, she has two. That's not my own percentage. That's not my own stats. You can look that up on the CDC website. That's where I get that information from. That is public information, black men. And whatever black women might listen to the video, that's public information. And that's 77% of a small population. Black people are the minority in America. So when you factor in 26 to 29, when you factor in underage teenage pregnancy, you realize you women are only given sexual access then you realize you women are only given sexual access to a small group of men, let alone marriage, because you don't get married to those men. And again, for a man to marry a woman, again, see, this is why the game is so jacked up. For you to marry a woman, guess what? You have to be in a relationship. You have to already be having sex with that woman. You're not, black women talk about, oh, I'm celibate. So you expect the man to meet you and he's supposed to fall in love with the fact that you're just you. You have a kid already by another man. Oh, but go ahead and propose. So you expect the man to meet. So black women, you expect them. So black women, you expect the man to meet you, just fall in love with the idea of you just being you, and you are being this romantic, charming, charismatic, loving woman, God-fearing woman, right? But he's never had sex with you, and you think, oh, well, I'm celibate, so you got to get married to me first before I have sex. When they say stupid stuff like that, but you already have a kid, okay, well, what does that mean? It means a lot, bitch. It means the fact that you've been having sex for a long time before you even had that first kid. But you expect the man to sit back and wait and get married to you because you talk about how you're celibate. But I can guarantee any female talking about how she's celibate, you still getting smashed. Because guess what? Females have urges. So you think, oh, well, I'm going to use a rose toy on myself. And I'm going to just, man, shut up. Shut up, 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 shut up. So again, men over the age of 30 with no kids and who hasn't been married. See, guess what? Men who are over the age of 30 with no kids and no marriage, guess what, black men? For black men, right? You're free. No, matter of fact, I'm going to call it that video right there. That's the title. Black men over the age of 30 years old with no kids and who is not married, you're free. I'll shorten this somehow, right? I'll simplify that. You're free, black man. She talked about how, listen, when you're free like that, she can't trust a man because why? You have options. You have a choice, right? She said, guys like that, right? You're pretty much liable to do anything. She talked about how the devil, shut up, bitch. You controlled by the devil. You bit the apple. I bet when that whole story about Adam and Eve was told, that's a black joint. That's a black joint, yo. turn your back, not listening. Yo, you gonna do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel good, right? You might say, oh, that's a woman trait. Yo, that's a black John trait. Keep it a buck. Yo, black man, when I make this content, I'm trying to wake brothers up, right? Again, hold on. Another real stat. 51% of black men are childless. Childless, black men. Not to mention, you don't have any kids, but you're also living in the middle class. So that means she doesn't trust most black men, right? But because, see, hold on. This is my last point, and it's gonna show you something, right? You have something called fast life strategists, slow life strategists, right? Black and brown people tend to be fast life strategists, meaning let's just pump out kids, right? No stability, no real plan, and let's just throw them all against the wall and see which one sticks. White people and Asian people, specifically Asian people, right? But white women kind of act out in the same way where if the man doesn't have resources, we won't give you children. Black women, like I said earlier, don't give an absolute fuck of a black man's, or at least the men they go after, don't give a damn about a black man's financial position, lifestyle choices, but you're worried about, oh, well, I can have a kid. Oh, he's tall. Yo, dreadlocks, tattoos. Yo, I want a thug. See, you're crossing your fingers. You're praying to whoever you pray to, white Jesus, hoping that this thug can get you out the environment that you're in and put you in the suburbs. But you overlook productive the productive man, again, who this might be average as far as what they consider average to be, right? You overlook him even though he has the real foresight to pull you out your situation and bring you into a better situation, right? Take you out of poverty and bring you into the middle class. But again, you're too worried about him being tall, him having dreadlocks, you chasing after a man for a feeling versus thinking about reality. Because guess what? All that proves is black women don't give a fuck about their own kids. If you did, you wouldn't have a kid and birth him into poverty. Oh, but I have a time clock. Oh, you feel like, oh, I need to have kids before 35. Well, guess what? You can pick a good man before 35 years old. I mean, shit, even 30 years old. You can pick a productive, hardworking man who is making a decent salary. Again, you telling me a man making 50K doesn't deserve to have a kid? You telling me a man making 40,000 doesn't deserve to have a kid? I guarantee you, if you're a loyal woman, right, he can trust you. That same man making 40K, knowing he has a loyal woman, a trustworthy woman, right, someone who's actually with him for love and not for financial gain and capital gain, and you want to get alimony and child support and divorce him and take half his stuff. Yo, I bet you that same man will work his ass off. Yo, I'm tired of making 40. I got a solid woman behind me. I got a kid depending on me. Yo, forget that 40. I'm trying to make 60. Forget that 60. I'm trying to make 80. I'm trying to make 100. But listen, at this point, black men, we already know the game. We already figured it out. Yo, you black Jones, you're going to have to suffer. And when you come back on your knees, begging and crawling and groveling, yo, me, 10%, yo, we won't even be around for you to choose, to cry to and grovel to, get on your knees and pray to. You got the Sims left. Hopefully the Sims got a backbone. Hopefully the Sims got a spinal cord back there, right? And you're not just some weak, limp noodle, right? Hopefully you got a spinal cord back there. But man, listen, a lot of you brothers, yo, tell them no. Beat it. You had your chance. And guess what you chose? Gloctavius. Like I said, a lot of you black Jones, you talk about commitment. You have such a high level of commitment to sit down in these classes on university campuses, go to school for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, 8 years, right? You can commit to that, but you can't commit to a man who you feel like, oh, I'm better than you. You better than him because of what? He's not over 6 feet. Let's keep it a buck. I talk about that stuff because, again, when you look at the guys who they go after, okay, Even when Glocktavius isn't over 6 feet, guess what? He's a thug. He's a criminal, or he at least portrays himself with that imagery. I've told you guys, listen, if you really want to have success with black women, you better conform, right? I made multiple videos on my channel talking about conforming. That's again, aka Thug Maxing. That's your next best bet if you lack buck, BUCK characteristics. What are those characteristics? Being over 6 feet tall, being of a certain weight, right? If you lack those things, you have to become a thug. And in black women eyes, when guys of that physical care of that physical trait decides to become a thug, they love them even more. Anyways, black men, like I said, dude, they talk about guys not having high levels of commitment. Again, you're over 30 years old with no kids and no marriage. But again, as men, we control access to who gets married and who doesn't. But again, if you're not even in a relationship, why the fuck are you getting married? You're supposed to meet a woman off the strength, right off the muscle, know her for 3 weeks and get married. Again, if females aren't even picking you for sexual access, how can you have kids? You're supposed to spawn them out of thin air? Yo, that's stupid. And again, the men who you do give kids to, guess what? They don't stick around. Anyways, black men, you get the point. Keisha, I hope you get the point because you need it. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.